Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia and this is the Feminine Fancy. If you are new here, hello, welcome, come in, stay a while. If you are not new, thank you so much for coming back and for supporting the channel. I love you guys so very much. In today's video, we are going to talk about rebranding yourself and your life. I feel like when companies undergo rebrands, no one really talks about it, no one really cares. I don't even think people really notice that much. But when you try to undergo like a personal rebranding and change some of the things in your life, all of a sudden everyone has an issue. I talked about this briefly in a video that I did last year about what to do when people say that you're not being authentic anymore. And this kind of touches on that because I do feel that when we are trying to level up our lives, when we're trying to live differently, a lot of times there will be negative commentary, unsolicited negative commentary from the people in our lives. And oftentimes it's not that they're trying to be negative, it's just that they don't have the vision for how you see yourself the way that you have the vision for how you see yourself. But a lot of times in order to reach the certain goals we want to reach, in order to get to where we want to get to, we have to undergo a little bit of a personal rebranding. And so that's what we're going to talk about in today's video and how that can affect your life, how that can change your life for the better. Before we jump into this content, I of course have to thank my wonderful and amazing patrons. If you guys are not on Patreon, I will leave the link down below. On Patreon, I give you additional content, additional videos, blog posts. You can also vote on my video topics occasionally, and you get access to the super exclusive Feminine Fancy Facebook group where we have weekly baking challenges. We share our outfits of the day. We ask questions. It's just a community of like-minded women. So I will leave that linked down below. And the patrons that I would like to shout out today are Cleo Day, Cassandra Cummings, and Mia Horton. Thank you guys so much for being patrons. I love you. I'm gonna get comfy really quick. I like to sit like on one foot. And then this foot's gonna fall asleep. Also, I just wanna say, I'm really sorry that the cord is just like dangling all over the place, but this is a bodysuit and you know how that can be. Never mind that. Okay, when I think about companies that have undergone rebranding, and I wanna start by talking about this because it's kind of gonna set the stage for, you know, exactly what I mean. I think about Taco Bell. Now, I think about Taco Bell often because I love Taco Bell, but I also reminisce on the days of the Chihuahua, and I think about Yo Quiero Taco Bell and the slogan and all of that. Like, that was a very big part of my childhood that they just phased out silently. And here's what I think happened. Back in the day, and you guys can comment down below and let me know if you remember this. Back in the day, Taco Bell was having a lot of issues. They were having a lot of recalls. I remember there was like a thing with the tomatoes. There was a thing with the green onions. Comment below if you remember the green onion issue of like 1999. They were having all these problems, and then all of a sudden you didn't really hear the slogan that much anymore, and you didn't see the Chihuahua. So it's almost like they underwent a huge rebrand, and they didn't want to be known as the fast food chain where people were getting sick anymore. And they wanted to maybe switch paths and directions and move towards something different. Now, we don't have the Chihuahua. I haven't heard that slogan in a very long time, but I also haven't really heard anything negative about Taco Bell. So when I'm talking about rebranding, that's kind of what I mean, where you were once known for one thing and then you kind of silently shift into another thing, another niche, another brand, whatever it may be. This would be a good time to mention that if you are interested in personal branding, growing a following, things like that, I also have videos on that topic in the You Grow Girl tab on my Patreon, which again will be linked down below. So companies do this all the time, but how can we do this in our personal lives? And also, why would we do this in our personal lives? As we talk about on this channel, being your dream woman, activating your dream woman energy, your feminine energy, leveling up your life, and all of those sorts of topics, oftentimes that's going to require that we make some slight changes to how we're living life right now. That doesn't mean that you're like completely changing who you are necessarily. It just means you might need to make a few tweaks here and there to really start walking the way in which that version of you would walk. And so the first thing that you're going to want to do for this is to create a personal mission statement. So with companies, with brands, a lot of times there's a mission statement for the company. The mission statement might be, our goal is to empower women to be the best that they can be across the globe, right? Like that sounds like a very generic mission statement, but a mission statement nonetheless. Your mission statement basically tells your story and tells the world why you are in existence, what you are doing. And when we apply this to ourselves, it can get quite existential, but I do think that there is something to be learned from this. What is your personal mission statement? Why are you here? What is it that you want to offer the world? How do you want to portray yourself in the world? What are your gifts and talents that you can share with the world that no one else has? What is your personal mission statement? Why do you feel like you were put on this earth? What is it that you want to portray to the world? What version of yourself do you want to be and do you want the world to see? When you develop your personal mission statement, that kind of gives you a sort of like format or a syllabus rather. I'm sure many of you, I have like PTSD from the amount of the number of syllabi I have gotten over the years, but it kind of gives you like an outline essentially of what your purpose is here on earth and how you want to walk in that purpose and how you want to portray that purpose out to the world. So first, when it comes to your personal rebrand, start by creating your personal mission statement. And you can easily do this just by getting a pen and paper and writing, I was put on this earth to ... I'm going to achieve this by ... Not a date, not like I'm going to achieve it by September 2027. I'm going to achieve this by, working with people, by networking, by doing, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do to achieve that sort of mission that you've set out for yourself. And that's going to help you have a good, like I said, outline format of this new rebrand and this new sort of version of yourself. And so then once you do that, it's important to get clear on your destination. Where are you going? Where do you see yourself ending up in any area of life? And the beautiful thing about this is that, you can sort of parcel this out depending on which section of your life you're talking about. You could specifically talk about what's your destination with your career? What's your destination with your family? What's your destination with your romantic relationships, with your friendships, whatever it may be. My mom used to always say to us growing up, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And what she basically meant was if you don't have a general idea of like where you want to end up. And this is the same woman who made us write Where I See Myself in 10 Years when we were in middle school. So, take this with a grain of salt because she was on another level. It is important to have an idea of what your destination is. Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in the next few years? And once you have an idea of that destination, again, that'll give you that sort of format of what are the steps you have to take to get there. A lot of times we are just not living in alignment with the sort of goals that we say that we want, the destinations that we say we want to get to, and we're not necessarily taking the steps that we need to get there. Oftentimes because we don't even know what that destination looks like. I've said it before and I'll say it again, you have to get super clear on your vision for your life and on your destination for your life. Now, I will say, I am of the belief that life really is a journey and maybe there is no specific destination, but again, it's just important to have an idea of where you want to go so that you can make certain decisions accordingly based on where you would like to end up in your life. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is start networking and widening your circle. There's another phrase that I heard once that says that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who are you spending the most time with? Are the people that you spend the most time with on the same path and trajectory as you are? And if not, this is a great opportunity to network and place yourself in social situations where you can be around like-minded people. Again, this is what my Facebook group is for. This is what women's retreats are for. There are so many ways to network and to widen your circle. Check out what's going on in your city or in the big city near you. There are events all the time that you can get tickets for. You can go with a friend, you can go by yourself. If you want to be around a certain type of person, around people who are like-minded and interested in the same things that you're interested in, you're going to need to find ways to place yourself in their presence. So for example, if you see yourself as someone who has a boat, let's just say, and I'm picking the most like materialistic thing ever, just because I feel like it's the easiest example. If you feel like you're someone who in the future you would like to have a boat, where do you need to be? You need to be around the people who already have boats. Go to the boating town where you live, or, you know, where is that place that you know a lot of people like to sail or like to charter boats or whatever. We have a town not far away that's a total cute little boating town, and people live on their boats, people sail around the bay. I don't want a boat, so I don't need to spend a bunch of time there. But if you want a boat, you're going to want to be around said people. What are the activities you can do in that area? What are the clubs you can join in that area, just so that you can start networking? I'll give a good example. The town that I'm always talking about that I would love to live in the future, one of the things that Kane and I do all the time is we just go there and we hang out. We go to the downtown, we get dinner, we go to the beach, and we just network and talk to people. We went to the downtown a few weekends ago and just for fun went shopping, and we're just walking around, and one of the boutiques that we walked in, because Kane is such a chatty and personable person, he happened to just start talking to the owners of this cute little boutique, and next thing you know, they invited us to a party that Friday, and they were saying like, hey, maybe we should collab on like video production stuff together, and you can create, you know, content for us and things like that. We would not have that connection now if we didn't just go hang out there. So that brings me to my next point. Yes, it's important to network, and it is also important to just go to the place you want to be. If you see yourself living in a certain town or a certain area, just go there. Go there and hang out. Go there and hang out at the coffee shop. Go there and go shopping, right? Like, these are the ways in which you start to live the life that you picture in your mind. These are actual physical, tangible things that you can do instead of, you know, there's nothing wrong with vision boards and dream boards and all of that. But then, you know, when you actually place yourself in these places, in these scenarios that you see your sort of ideal self in, it really practically helps you because you make connections, and it also spiritually helps you because you're able to access that feeling of what it would be like to be there, to live there, to have that life. So take the time and go to the place where you see yourself. And for me, it's this particular part of where I live, but for you, it could be something different. But I think you understand what I'm saying. If there's something specific and within reach that you want and you see for yourself, just spend time going there, spend time there, get to know the people, network, and just feel what it would be like to be there. Part of rebranding yourself is rebranding your mind and rebranding your thoughts. Do you have limiting beliefs, or do you have expansive beliefs? Do you think you can, or do you think you can't? Do you think that one day you will end up where it is you want to be, or are you telling yourself that it's highly unlikely, right? You need to rebrand your thoughts just as much as you need to rebrand your actions. In alignment with that, sometimes we might also have to change up our style a little bit. Now, I want to be careful with this one because I'm not suggesting that you change your personal style to fit into, you know, whatever group, club, town, whatever. I am saying, however, that you have to dress for the job you want. You have to dress for the life you want. That doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money, but that saying dress for the job you want exists for a reason. Growing up, we had a family friend who the dad of the family was a lawyer, and he came from a rough part of, I forget where. I can't remember what state he was from, but he grew up in a rough town and knew he wanted to become a lawyer. And so what he would do is whenever he went to play like basketball with his friends, and he told myself, my brother, and you know, our family this story, he would pack a suit in a briefcase, and after he was done playing basketball with his friends, he would put on his suit and tie and briefcase. Now, was he going straight to the attorney's office? No, he was not. He still had to get through school, he had to get through law school and all of that, but he dressed for the job he wanted, and he eventually became a lawyer. Sometimes our style is a reflection of our limiting beliefs. And especially I think here in the United States, we have a very casual way of being. It's a very like laissez-faire, you know, oh, I'm just going to the store, I don't need to dress up, which is like fair. But at the same time, you know, there has to be a time and a place for things. You have to recognize, you know, when is it appropriate for me to dress up, and what should I wear? Like, how should I present myself in this situation? When I place place myself in this environment, in this scenario? How do I want others to perceive me? Because I've said it before and I'll say it again, whether or not you like this fact, we are all being perceived in a certain way by other people. And that's just not going to change. I think that's just like our humanity. So if you are currently not dressing for the job you want, not dressing for the life you want, you know, what is that saying to the world around you? What message are you giving out to the universe about how you see yourself and where you see yourself? Now again, this isn't meant for you to go and purchase a whole new wardrobe and buy a bunch of expensive things. I'm sure you can make the most of what is in your current wardrobe and really start to embrace dressing up and not feeling uncomfortable about it. A lot of people feel uncomfortable dressing up and getting fancy, dressing nicely for whatever it is that they're going to. One of the things I absolutely used to love doing is going to plays and events and musicals and operas and seeing everyone get so dressed up because it's just so rare. Every day in life, how you dress yourself, how you style yourself says to yourself and says to the world something about you. So what is the messaging that you want to give the universe? What is the messaging that you want to give the world around you and that you want to give yourself? Remember, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. All in all, rebranding yourself is just about making small changes to accomplish what it is that you want to do. And you have to know that, like, yes, are people gonna say things? Possibly. Are they gonna say, hey, you used to dress like this and now you dress like this? Or hey, you used to, talk like this and now you talk like this. And that's fine. Let them say whatever it is they're going to say. And all you have to say in return, if this were to ever come up, is, yeah, I know. Or you don't have to respond at all. You don't owe anyone an explanation. I think the most beautiful thing about life is that we, whether we want to or not, we're constantly rebranding and changing and growing and evolving. So we're not going to be the same people that we were at every phase in life. And the beautiful thing is once you recognize that, you can actually take the reins and take control of your life and take control of how you want to present yourself, of what kind of life you want to live, because life is going to change anyway. So you might as well have a little bit of a say in those changes. All right, my loves, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what was your favorite tip in this video. Comment down below if you've ever rebranded yourself, what that means to you. Just sound off all of your little opinions in the comments and we can have a discussion about it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It is free. You don't have to pay. And also it would help me get to my goal of 200,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't know if that's gonna happen, but you know what? I am chugging along. So please hit that red subscribe button, share this video with your friends. Follow me on Instagram at _thefemininefancy_ and on my blog at thefemininefancy.com, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.